Good idea, Jubilee. Oh, it's probably produced by Jubilee, no?
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
Okay. All right. So my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9 to 5.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's the thing is you're right. You get up every day, you go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up, you go, you flip some patties, maybe you sign a few envelopes, answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
when you're
turns
a mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Honestly, I just think genuinely, if you're like a really good streamer versus a very good 9 to 5 worker, being a good streamer is actually probably harder than being a 9 to 5 worker. Being a 9 to 5 worker is not, it's not that it's not harder, it's just more daunting. Like this guy said, you have to go bullshit job, but it's like, obviously if you think your job is BS, then you're gonna think it's harder. But if it's like they both love their job, see now I'm getting into semantics. Let's just say, fuck, I'm on streamer side, bro. Fuck it.
I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We have to deal with thousands, tens of thousands of people critiquing every little thing we do, every decision we make, every thought we have.
You guys got it made, man. I wish I had it made like y'all.
We don't have to sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox. We have
got
to
it gravy, bro.
What's the next trend? What's the next idea?
You got it
Oh my
gravy,
God,
bro.
I have to stream today.
And I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy 24/7.
I wish I could be at home like you and kick back and get.
Watch out, Lacey. You do have lunch breaks.
We're not even at home. We're walking around.
In and out
segments. Doing
All
things,
of
going
that
to parties, doing all this
shit,
stuff.
I got to slave just for not even 100,000 a year. I got to work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No, I'm not.
steady rate.
You're not guaranteed?
I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Yeah, but you have a guaranteed pay.
Guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
got to work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't get
Just
paid
to
either.
collect.
We don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat spamming L's. Oh, this is boring. We don't like this video. We have to create content. Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F this 9 to 5 shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
I get called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I get called fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat,
Well,
whatever.
That's your homeboy.
This guy said, "Wow."
You're right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing a flag.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
So you raised your flag. Is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day, too.
We deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey's Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey's Thugs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up asking for a picture.
Oh.
You know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever.
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's going to last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why
cook,
you gotta
you
grind.
have that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically,
That's true.
if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get a
No, I'm asking
trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would
Job.
you do? If you lost completely all your YouTubers, you had nothing, no one watched you anymore, I didn't even watch you anymore, what would you have to do? You would have to go to work.
Wait, what'd she say? What'd she say? What'd she say?
No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to go to work. Did I just cuss at you?
That's a
sir. If I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But
and
no,
stuff.
he lost everybody. He lost everybody. He has no followers whatsoever.
You're-
He would
you're-
have to turn
yeah,
around.
but you're proving my point.
You would have
You're
to turn
proving my
around.
point. You're proving my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there. You could be a private chef. You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook.
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
I'm not gonna lie. Job security in a 9 to 5 isn't. Actually, yeah, no, it is actually mad secure. A 9 to 5 is gonna be mad secure all the time unless you're a literal idiot. Because getting fired is crazy. And if you get fired, you deserve to get fired most of the time.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlight. Yo, Lacey, it's the truth.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find the 4 local cans. I gotta make.
Yo, this guy adapts rage baiting them, bro. Look, he's laugh farming. Look at these people.
Like I gotta make sure I get the 4 local can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work. That's what we have to do.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you,
From
Rhonda.
Pineville, 35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
You get spoiled.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done
You
it?
get spoiled. No.
Rhonda,
You
Rhonda,
get spoiled,
Rhonda,
and your
Rhonda,
mama and
Rhonda,
daddy keep
Rhonda,
giving
we all
it to you.
struggle
Rhonda,
growing up.
I got a question for Rhonda. I got a question for Rhonda. Rhonda,
Yes.
have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30
Dead ass.
days straight,
24
hours a day.
day and night breaks.
We all streamed for
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
You know how
day
hard
were
it
you
is
a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a 3-minute ad?
You
When have you
clean
ever
up
ran? You
vomit,
never ran a 3-minute ad.
You pass trays, you're short-handed.
Talk about the fake relationships that you have.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think any like you actually have to have crazy like for a subathon. If you want to do a successful subathon, you have to have crazy like sustainability to run that, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of people, even myself, I think, that I feel tired after an IRL stream. So like these guys, like 24/7, bro. Just a regular IRL like 3-hour stream. I'm like, yo,
Imagine every
wow.
little person, we call them parasocials. They judge your relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging you.
got caught with
based
my
on it.
ex
I
in
got caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you. And that's a big problem.
Rhonda's
with young
cooking.
people. You care about what
Things are, these guys don't care.
social media, what they say about
They've already
you.
gone past
That's
that.
our job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh,
You're
brother.
short-handed.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
Saving 1,000.
All right, so you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yep.
My argument is that none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers, your
part of the
editors,
face team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
Oh shit.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
Well, that's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
He could be onto something, but yeah, he could. Because I know that the production team does take a lot, but at the end of the day, I think these guys have to greenlight the ideas and everything. They're obviously the main,
Well, that's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
They wouldn't have any work if it wasn't for us, though.
That's cold.
I
That's
would even
cold.
go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9-to-5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a
Why
year.
is she laughing? Bro, she's making me mad.
She's rage
I actually
baiting,
feel
bro.
like they're wrong.
All right, Ron.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Occupation
My
NA.
job is not harder than what you do.
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier
Yeah.
because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it
Talk
easier
about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
when you go to work every day, everyone's
So you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to
All right,
perspective.
go back. Oh, Haley, what's up? We're just watching a streamer versus 9-to-5 workers debate video.
That makes it harder?
No, it makes
What
it
side are you on?
Makes it easier
Yeah.
because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah, when you go to
guaranteed.
work every day,
So
everyone's
you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9-to-5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9-to-5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay? That's one...
Hear me out. Self-marketing on a creative platform on an individual. What are you trying to say, James? Yo, James, your chats have been mad confusing recently.
One aspect of it,
Working
right?
at
Yeah.
Foot Locker,
Okay.
working at a job.
Thing with these jobs, the introductory level jobs like Foot Locker, it's hard to get like a 9-to-5 kind of hours, unless you're like a vet. It's hard, but at the same time, it's easy. That makes sense. Like, cause like if you really try, but who wants to work 9-to-5 at Foot Locker? You'll actually lose your mind.
Job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer. Yes,
Actually, no. Foot Locker would probably be a faster day compared to a lot of like food service at least.
because a streamer you have to come up with ideas. You have to stay relevant. There
Oh,
was
we're talking about ideas now. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
what do you-
talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to
that's
start with
one
though?
way that
But it
it's
doesn't
easier.
make. But
Well,
you're not
you started
even.
with
You're not
pay.
even. You keep switching it. So why don't
I'm
you
not
answer my
switching
question?
anything.
You know, you 100% are.
Yeah.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
Stuff
is
that you need
difficult.
creativity. You need to
Okay.
get out of your circle, comfort
Sure.
zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
much YouTube.
So it's the same thing. So the people that
Absolutely,
you're
yeah.
entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true, but you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
yeah,
is entertainment.
Entertainment
But
as
my
a
question
job
to
doesn't
you
have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you can sit here and
Okay,
think that
okay.
working at like a Foot Locker or something like that. I'm just using that because that's the best
Sure,
example.
yeah,
Is harder than a streamer
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
in the
there's
sense of
hard
everyday
physically,
activity.
there's
Because some people
hard-
around here said, "Oh, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m." Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with
You-
millions
when
of people.
you're creating that content and you have your phone,
Okay.
you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
Not true.
coworkers and you're not
That's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content,
I'm-
he loses
So
a
when
job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, "Oh, we're not doing it anymore"? You lose your job.
If the work is picking up a phone or turning on a camera as opposed to going in with a bunch of people and having to multitask tasks you have to do throughout your shift and deal with your
Tasks you gotta do
coworkers
throughout
and
the stream.
interpersonal thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number of hours that you are talking and typing and shitting and eating and all that stuff.
I don't know what kind
that
of point he's
everybody's
trying to
watching you
prove.
do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like friendships, relationships, which is the most important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Sorry, bye. See you later.
Seeing a lot of flags.
Nah, so that made me crash out.
What's your name?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. Hang on. She's right. She's right. I'm not gonna lie. She's right.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home, but if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect, and I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long have you
berated.
been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat.
Ooh,
and
that's pretty
I was
good.
very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other
So
opportunities.
you're just saying a lot of points.
There's no relaxation.
Just so I can answer a couple. So you were saying
Jesus.
like to go back to the beginning. You were saying like you can manage like your time with like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home. Like
I fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would
so
have
I'll
been
give you
able
a
to do it
perfect
without.
example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money, and it slowly went super up, and then all of a sudden it went down. Right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off
He was about to
completely.
himself.
About to myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why are you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9 to 5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my, like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making
It was
more than my
serious,
rent.
yeah.
So I was losing.
You were in the red every
I
month.
was in the
I
red
got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
whammy.
across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she's laughing, bro.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that to a certain extent is privilege.
That's privilege.
It is.
But my mom. How's that privilege?
It's privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to
What is
take
that?
9
That's
to
a whole
5s.
different discussion.
A lot of people don't have parents to live with?
houses
A lot of
when they
people
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or
But
accept
that's a
them.
whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica
And
and shared
heated.
a trundle bed, so.
Okay, well, I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've
Okay,
definitely
Ron,
helped my
okay,
family out
Ron.
in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place. So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
It's a great question. I don't know because I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in the
knew
door.
that she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings,
But
to have an audience. And even if you do lose all your followers one day,
Yeah.
even if
Let's
you
say
lose,
I lost it all tomorrow.
You still have residuals of your previous viral videos, even if people are hating on you and shitting on you, that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to school.
So were we.
You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
Okay. The thing is, like, the whole security thing, like, with the streamers is, like, if you fall off, dude, I don't even know what point I'm trying to make here, but it's like, I don't like this whole security, like...
You still have residuals of your previous viral...
Go back.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Okay, yeah, this is the point I'm trying to address. Becoming like a nurse or a doctor is also not secure, obviously, but I feel like it's pretty secure if you like really dedicate yourself. I'm not gonna lie. If you really dedicate your life to becoming a doctor and you don't become a doctor, bro, that's not you.
Streamer.
How you doing, bro?
It's the same way as a streamer. Same way.
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
Gabe.
Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good. So first of all, I want to say I do respect all of you for what you do. I mean, you guys do work.
W.
You do not
Gabe.
work as hard as people who have a regular job.
Al Gabe.
I mean, that I do know it for sure. It's very clear. People have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not a daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's a yearly thing, it's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful because if they do something weird, they say something weird to their coworker or their boss, they're gonna lose their job. If you
Same
lose
thing
some
with the
followers
streamer.
because of something you say, you'll get other followers. And you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession, there's not a lot of jobs, as could be now, they get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back? I mean, it happens all the time. Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing in on time.
He's making a
5
good
times,
point here,
but
I'm not
you're
gonna lie.
done.
Okay, so listen, but to be able to get that loyal following of people that do follow you,
Yes.
you need to build that over years
Okay,
and years
okay.
and years and hours of
That's a good
trust
point, too. That's a good-
and communication
Sacrifice.
and intimate
That's a good clap back.
relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you.
Look, the
You don't
things-
just fall into 1 million subscribers, 2
Of
million
course
subscribers,
not.
3 million
Of course
subscribers.
not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you, a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like, you're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental toll that it takes dealing with people and getting comments and this and that, that's what everybody deals with. But you don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time, no
Then
matter
why don't
what.
you do it?
Anyone who has a 9 to 5 has to do that.
I said, what do you do? What
Well,
do
I'm
you
a
do?
college professor, so I have to do that same
So
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
Come on, bro.
You're right.
You already know what you're doing.
We have to produce new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take
You know what I'm
years
saying?
to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
It started out playing Call of Duty trick shotting. I
You were-
don't think
okay.
anybody in this room could hit a crane shot. I don't know if anyone in this room could quickscope.
I don't know if
So
that's
I had
something to be proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And then I had to do FaZe Clan, build FaZe Clan out, fix FaZe Clan, and then
Okay.
do streaming.
Okay.
So
And with how many people helping you?
How many people helping me?
Yeah.
Come on now.
For which stages?
Yeah, all of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
Oh, when I was trick
Was
shotting-
it just you? Like
No. It
Okay.
was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people worked their butts off 9 days.
Is it wrong for me to say that getting a loyal fan base is comparative to like getting a degree? Because once you get the degree, you have the security, and once you have the loyal fan base, you have security, but not security as in like rock solid. It's just enough for you to like be stable enough where it's like it's on you now type thing. If that makes sense. It's always been on you, but like you have this like you have this at least foundation where it's like you can build from this now. Your degree, you can build from this. You can go out, find a job, and build your way up from there. This is your loyal fan base now. You have to go out and try to increase that. So it's like, what's harder now? Getting that degree or getting that loyal fan base? Low key, I think it's getting that loyal fan base, bro. Because you got to really tap in with them not every day, but like, you know, consistently. Same way you would study consistently, but like, I think studying's a bit like,
By making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if
you
it
did
didn't
for this
exist,
point.
if it didn't exist, you couldn't press play, you couldn't press record,
So the fact that
and
you
then
have
just talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on, then
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
Right, but I also had to spend years earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just want to get paid to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
one thing that does contradict my point though is like, say if you're a professor, you look, you have to go to school for like 20 years, bro. If we're counting like grade school, you're gonna be in school for a long ass time. But again, damn, I might be proving my own point wrong. What the fuck?
I'm Vicky, and my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
brother.
You guys just,
I know how to do a three-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone
know.
is
So
very different.
So wait.
Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around, get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all day. You never sit down.
I hear you, I hear you.
You're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Why does you have to stand all day?
So it's dangerous.
Listen,
Oh, 'cause you're doing
Your
hair.
job
Chill,
isn't
chill.
dangerous.
So your
Your
thing
job
is-
isn't
your thing
physically
is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
bet, listen. So your whole thing, your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not
No, no,
physical.
no, but-
I'm saying that
I
a
just-
9 to
y'all let
5
me talk for a
job where
second.
you physically have to do
So-
some hauling around stuff.
So
and
physically, I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller and make a 200K montage. You can't.
man.
No one in here can.
Come on, man.
None of you can.
But you
none
can
of
carry
you-
some, just
none of you
some
could
hair and makeup.
physically
And you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
You
yes.
think 4 days they had a trick shot. It took you 4 days they had a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have
Hours
to do
a day.
that.
And then your day is never
Yes, I
done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No,
all of the things
wait.
that you use?
No. Listen,
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You don't know
done.
about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my God, disable resample.
If I rendered my video in Vegas and I sent the editor the clips without disabling and resample,
Oh my God.
my montage is fucked. The main underlying argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day to day.
Okay. You're
The labor side of it, definitely 9 to 5 is probably harder, just because you're actually like wired in. But it depends on what kind of streamer you want to be. So, like an IRL streamer, the labor of that is genuinely like, if you're an IRL streamer who like interacts with people, I think that is more demanding than just working as a hairstylist, bro. Especially if you gotta be entertaining, like.
main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never. I would go as far
Okay,
as
so how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think.
How many hours
guys
a
ever do.
day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long I
day,
needed
12 hours
to.
a day
However
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
12 hours a day, every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 1010. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God that he would be in the right spot, throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zones.
Stick drift.
No, they're just rage baiting
For
her,
the
bro.
most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream, and someone could rob us or kill us.
I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing, but that's happened recently.
I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
A crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him.
his
when he
thoughts.
Yeah.
Classic clip, by the way. Relax, relax. Okay, Silky.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children.
So
I have been an executive secretary, legal.
very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that, you know, because it's who you are that you know, we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers and we interact and have energy with people, where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
Nah,
You
nah,
have
nah, nah.
false energy because you're across the screen. You're not.
No, this
you're
is
not interacting.
this
with
one's not
people like
hitting.
we do.
So what are we doing right now?
Interacting?
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
Wait, isn't she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me. Come
There's
on.
millions of people who watch the video and
Yes.
save lives every
Yes.
day. Probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out and to the clubs at night, staying out till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So you was
to
having
get-
fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
So, but I'm saying it's like you guys don't do the interaction. You don't touch people like this.
okay. Now,
Shit's going on.
Okay, Silky.
you go to the club, you get to put some shades on, and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that
drunk,
your choice?
You're high. You're
But is
hungover.
that
Just
your
get off
choice?
screen. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that your choice? You chose that. You chose this
No,
life.
that's the thing. We can't. We
And
can't
that's
do
what's
what
happening
you do.
now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9-to-5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people too.
mind. No, you are not.
Do you know how many fans we meet a day?
I think. Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
Do you
because
watch
I think,
any entertainment?
Oh my God.
Of course, I watch
So do
entertainment.
you
I
ever,
got kids.
wait,
I got grandkids.
Do you ever laugh? Do you ever laugh?
Of course, I laugh.
So then they
We're
interact with
touching
you.
them.
But the interaction is
Did
not
it make
real.
you feel better?
When I'm
Did it
watching
make you, wait, did it make you feel better?
What make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
have you ever been
it all
entertained?
depends- it
Have you
all
ever been
depends
entertained?
No, Ron's
on me.
pressing
I
her.
feel good.
Some of it is fake.
right now.
Some of it is fake.
You see, you're not answering.
So now let me.
Okay, well let me answer because I'm debating him.
Okay, yeah.
But go ahead.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now. Go
all
ahead.
right.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's
So
get-
when you're entertained, have you ever felt like your day was better if you watched something? You've never felt like that?
Yeah, sure.
So what's the difference with us?
The difference with you is that you guys do this 24/7. That's all you do.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like you. Wait a minute. Somebody made a comment about, oh, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
So it's
You know what?
easier.
So it's
I'm,
easier.
I'm a very social.
She's like proving
I'm
their
a very
point.
social person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
I'm saying what we do has not affected people. It's not real. How come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you
Or their
every
hands
single
shaking,
day.
their hands shaking.
Like you were my child. You know how like we grew up watching Disney Channel?
Yep.
I've had kids
Ben
come
10.
up hundreds of times throughout years of my life. Have kids come up to me and say these things. So
Okay.
I wanted to hear what Silky had to say. He said he had a banger.
I'm Robbie. I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh, that's not fair.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day.
First thing I'm gonna say is nobody's gonna say
He doesn't even cook.
because my aunt was. That is the
My
most
mom
difficult
was.
shit. How are you gonna disrespect your mom like
No,
that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect
She
your mom
loves
and
it.
say that your work is harder?
She tells
That
me
is
it's
so rude,
Nigga,
honestly.
She works 2 of them.
Okay,
She works at 2 hospitals.
Let me ask you something.
She said it's mad easy. She can work at 2 hospitals.
No disrespect. No disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. That's what you just said. You don't watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has to get judged every
I gotta get
single
judged every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't get a job because I got tats. I used to work at Costco's. I had the greatest 401k granted to me. That means that when I retire, I get the biggest stipend of my life. Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, what, maybe 20 years I'm gonna be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
Yeah, well.
okay.
I didn't have to interact with nobody, just packing meat.
Yeah, well.
Come on, bro.
Hey.
what you do fun?
I mean,
Do you enjoy what you do?
If I make it fun,
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no? Is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do in a day?
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Not fun at all. Because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous, I'm not gonna lie.
But
you on his diesel.
You on his Deasley.
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
Then why would you choose something that's hard and not fun? That's not on the like.
Thank you. Yeah,
Hey, that was sarcasm. You didn't read it. No, I'd like to.
No. Listen to the time that I wake up. I wake up maybe 3, 4 p.m. Know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people. I gotta deal with thousands of them. No, let him stay. You gonna stay for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking pot and waking up at 4.
Okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure that my
He got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So
yeah.
you
You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, shave that little scruffy shit on your face. Cool,
Silky
right?
got fat.
Now I have to gain Marvel Rivals for probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I could just game it after work, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we could just scrub something around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m., I'm still probably thinking I gotta do something for stream. My mind is fried.
You know what's crazy?
My mind
9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work today.
You already did my
I did my work today.
You took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
What?
I don't want to hog the space here too much, but do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
No, I don't know this.
Basically, you're talking yourself into a hole, man. Okay, my turn. I'll be brief.
Wait, give a man a rope.
What is he?
Wait,
it means
is that racist?
Wow.
Get this racist out of here. He has no social cues.
Right.
Oh, you're back?
Babe, I want to say to you.
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah,
That's what I want to say. You say you don't like people. It's all about relationships that you got with people. So when you say shit like that, do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said,
I'm an introvert. I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
And that's okay. But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
I'm a superhero, no cape.
Jason might get cooked. He's just gonna joke with him too much, I think. There's still a lot of people who haven't talked, and these guys are doing repeat.
You look great. You look
That's
great.
right. I'm Thelma again.
I believe 9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck.
See, I told you, he can't even talk.
I think dreaming is so much harder. Why are you doing it?
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationship.
She did not answer the question. These guys not answer the question.
I loved so dearly because I chose streaming.
So my question.
I loved her.
My question.
I loved her, and you're laughing.
My question again. My question. If you think it's so much harder, why are you doing it?
Because I'm passionate about it.
Okay, so you love it. You love streaming. So do you love it more than you loved that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide.
Oh.
I had to make sacrifice, and
So
that's
you-
what you have to
so
do.
you lost
with
the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a 9 to 5,
lost the human
if I
touch
was flipping burgers,
for-
I could have had a girlfriend still.
But you
Flipping
lost the
burgers.
human touch for the streaming.
Being a streamer, you have to be judged on thousands of people's opinions every single day. 9 to 5 person, maybe one,
But,
two, three.
okay, and then back to my point, is that your choice? Was that your choice?
that's not the point, though. The
No,
point is
that's my point. That's my point.
streaming is harder
Was
than
that
that's the point.
you gave up your girlfriend for streaming? Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag. He
Yeah.
ran up a
I
bag.
ain't gonna lie,
He did
I
it for a bag.
But the thing is, it comes to a point. Do I pick love and a future with someone I care dearly for, or do I pick
something that I
future
love,
something that I'm passionate about, and motion? I pick motion.
Okay, I think Jason just wanted to say that. I don't know.
Lala Costa? Amazing name.
Thank you. I'm an attorney.
She makes a percent off people's fuck ups. I like that.
If you had an opportunity to get a 9 to 5 that you could create yourself, like whatever you want,
Yes,
9
I
to
would.
5, you would take it?
Yes.
Because why?
Because I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
You don't? What? Come to this side.
No, but I have to because this is what I built my career off of. I
You
started.
feel stuck.
I feel stuck. Yeah.
Have you ever watched a show and you stopped watching it?
Mm,
Have you ever watched a show and you were like,
all the time.
it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to.
That
I
TV
have to-
show can't. It's done. What happens to all those actors?
It's
after that?
canceled
They gotta
because I
go to-
stopped watching?
Well, no. I'm saying if thousands
Baby,
if thousands of you
Honey.
stop watching.
I think you guys are mixing all
Yeah,
the issues.
Cartoon Network. It's like
and
they
not
got millions of
focusing
people.
on-
You guys know what Cartoon Network is?
If your
It's
father
gone.
would stop, would you come up with a different brand then?
All those people are gone. Yeah, but pivot. That's the point.
Nice to meet you.
I'm good, Samurai.
Professional
How about you?
But
Okay.
I've worked since I was at the age of 14.
Okay.
I was a gamer too.
I just think personally, like I agree with Jason that I think streaming does take a certain more stop than a 9 to 5, and I also think everybody in here, right? If you guys all try to be a streamer, right, and then we all try to do what you guys do,
You get L's in your chat.
the probability of everybody here trying to be an attorney is way higher than somebody making streaming a career.
Absolutely, your job is just got lucky because you're a gamer.
Got
You
lucky.
There's so many people
I was
like
just-
you
I was
out
talented.
there.
It wasn't
These
pure
days,
luck. I was-
everybody's an influencer. Come on.
No. But
So many.
no. But specifically, what I do, I'm not posting selfies around the world. It's basically all pure talent.
Wait,
Okay.
Can I just why is he lucky? Why do we all get lucky though?
What is your talent?
Yeah.
Call of Duty. I was a professional Call of Duty player, like actual like.
So you were sitting at home and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life while you were gaming? You're like, oh, let's put a
I was
camera.
16, so it wasn't really like
yeah,
that.
you
So-
were
Jenka watching
thinking of
reacting
what
to
should I do
streamer
with my
versus
life? What should I
employed.
study? What should I like? Where does my life go? You just got lucky.
It's not luck. It's
because-
just he's determined. He knows that's the only route.
He didn't get lucky. He put in hours.
Yeah, no.
That's
yeah,
what we do
it,
too.
yeah,
We go
yeah,
to
it
school,
wasn't
we
luck.
study.
Everybody's a little bit of luck. I think people who don't have a job, they feel like they want to get lucky by getting a job. So I think people even having a job is some sort of luck.
He said, how many people of us could do this? No, it's luck. It's 1 of a million because for whatever
How is
reason.
that luck? If 1 out of a million, that one has to be the best. So how are you going to dismiss
Is
all
he
of his
the
hard
best?
work and all of his
Is he the
talent?
best?
I got four. I got
No,
fourth
no,
last
but
year. No. Let me give my statistics. There was over 300,000 people that played Warzone last year. This is the game that I play.
Okay.
I got 4th. So I was a top 12 player across the entire world.
And you're telling him
so
you're
that's not luck. That's
like
pure.
less than
That's pure
1%.
skill.
So you're dismissing? Is Michael Jordan lucky? Is LeBron James lucky? Are they lucky?
I mean,
No,
they have a
weren't.
talent. They have
They
a
were-
talent.
they had a
but
team.
as-
So what
you
he
know how
do-
many talented people out there and don't get the chance, they don't get the shot at it?
I don't want to take up his time. So he's not talented?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Not
That's
at
what
all.
you just said.
You just
No.
said.
What he did
I
to get
said
to where
a
he
lot
is.
of
She's
people
running
don't
herself in
get
a
the
circle. I
shot
can't lie.
To do what he does.
Or people who
So
make it
it's
to the
luck.
NBA.
But I didn't even get a shot. It was I did it off the strength of me. There was no one who gave me a shot or anything like that. I simply was. You dead ass?
Yo, you being serious?
Why you laughing?
Why they laughing, bro?
It's not luck.
I
I've
really,
been doing this.
I really like Swag's point where he's like, if everyone were to swap, these people would not be able to survive as a streamer. Like they don't even know how to like do it. But to their point, if FaZe becomes like an attorney, they won't know how to do being attorney, whatever. But I feel like they after like a year, not a year, but like after a couple years, they'd be able to like, actually understand it because it's just like it's right or wrong. Streaming, there's not really like a right or wrong. It's like you kind of have to like not only get lucky, but you have to like be wired in, be passionate about it.
for 13 years. I uploaded 3,000 videos. 2,000 of those I edited myself while I went to college, worked a job, and still went to school.
And yeah,
So that's not, I mean, if that's fucking,
stand on it, stand on
if
it.
that's luck,
Where's the luck at in that equation?
Again.
is there a percentage? We are all lucky in some way, right? If we all have a job, we're lucky in some sort of way. But
God bless.
off of specific pure talent. And I worked on that since I was 16.
Again, I work with many talented people. I'm not saying about you.
Yeah.
Just talk in general. And there's so many people that are very talented never get a shot because they don't do the right thing. They don't go the right path. They don't meet the right people. So there are so many even talented actors here. They never get a shot. So I'm just saying it's pure
You're right,
luck.
Samurai.
It wasn't luck. I just saw an opportunity and just genuinely took it. It wasn't a handout. It was simply just, you know what, I'm talented at Call of Duty. This is what I want to do. It took me 8 years to make it a career. Is there something funny?
It's a freaking video game.
It's a talent.
Permission to dick ride? Hey, he's made tens of millions of dollars playing video games, so.
Exactly, that's that privilege. That's that privilege.
But I'm saying though, you couldn't hop on a game and do what I do.
You couldn't do it.
That's a skill.
Your son couldn't do it.
Some
Your
people-
grandkids couldn't do it.
Some people
Your
can't.
son's grandkids could never do it. They could never do it.
Anything that takes a talent.
The genes are done. They can't do it. They can't.
How many
They
hours
can't.
a day did you spend?
When I was younger?
Yeah, when you were younger.
Oh, I would wake up 3 hours before school. So I would wake up at 4 a.m. and I would play before school. Bus would come at 7. I go to home, come back, and do it again. I was 16. What's funny?
See, there's a disconnect here, because to you guys, when you guys were growing up, yes, it was just video games, it was whatever. But when we were coming up, we're like, wait, maybe we can make this career. Maybe if we get good enough at it and we create.
Do you not
good
think?
enough
Do you not
content,
think if you're talented at something, it's a God-given gift?
Video games is not like.
You don't think you don't think it's talent?
You're just too old to understand.
That's yeah. It's just, I can't argue that because
Y'all could
I
never
gotta
play
keep it a-
FNCS either. It's
I
the
gotta
same
keep
shit.
it a buck. There's a disconnect.
Same
You come
shit.
from a generation where this didn't exist. This career, you looked at this career and you laughed. Now, how come in colleges they're teaching courses on content creation and esports?
Oh.
When you grew up, this didn't exist. So no wonder you're gonna laugh when you hear this shit because you're from a completely different generation. You just don't get it, and I don't know if you ever will be able to wrap your head around it.
Oh.
and it's fun. But it's like
And that's
again, it's
okay.
Oh, you gotta
it's
fight
fun.
back.
That's
You gotta
okay.
fight back. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice meeting you.
Good shit, Alexander Hamilton Pinkovich.
I'm Ronnie.
Ronnie, nice to
This
meet you.
past-
My name's Ronnie.
You were talking about job security. Are you familiar with layoffs, with being furloughed? Like taking it back to. That's being what? What does that even mean?
You lose everything. Every dollar. Everything. You lose everything.
Okay, and then you can rebuild yourself back. You
The same way
reinvent.
you can do if you get laid off. You get a
Yeah,
new
that's
job.
it's
Oh, and-
kind
okay.
of is it not the same concept? Like
I don't know. Back in 2020, when everybody was getting furloughed, everybody was like, "Oh, let me go to social media. That's kind of an easy alternative." So that seems kind of easy.
I know,
And
but
then-
if you lose a job, you can't.
just get another
No,
one?
you can search for. You have an opportunity to search for another one. No?
Okay, I've been searching for another one for 10 months. I interview every day, give the same spiel, have to give that smile of walking through my
I
resume.
uploaded videos for 7 years and barely got any views.
And did
It's
you
just-
wait?
it's-
You
it's-
uploaded 7 videos and,
And,
didn't
and
get any views
went to school, and still.
and paid rent.
Yes, I still worked. I worked
Oh, so that you had another job.
as a parking attendant. Yes.
Okay, and was that harder
Then what?
than streaming?
No, I was on my phone all the time.
Oh, as a parking attendant, that doesn't sound like you were doing a very good job.
I was chilling.
You were chilling. You weren't good at
He's
your job.
he's cooking her. I can't lie.
When cars park, they're done. Like it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't have to.
Well, that's
I'm not security.
That's
I just
a
go.
one
I go like this. I
9
go like this. Yo, right there. I bet. Do you think an aspect of a video game, playing video games, is a talent?
I would say it's a skill. I wouldn't call it a talent. You can master it with,
Ooh,
sorry,
but people
my
play.
nephew.
Millions play video games, but there are very few people who are genuinely gifted at it.
Right.
Gifted? What are they, Mozart?
How is it not a talent? Why is it not a talent what he does?
You know what? I'm open to it being a talent. I think it's a skill. I think it's something you can master. I don't think you're a Mozart that you have this gift of like, whoa, when I put my thumb here and this thumb there and do this combo, I do this
You'd be
flip.
surprised. I mean, there's people out there who are genuinely
That they have their opposable
the
thumbs
most
like
gifted-
so good.
That's like saying, here's a paintbrush, go paint me Picasso.
Yeah,
that's like, what?
I'm saying this is so hard. If there's certain games that have $1 million prize pools, if there's a skill you could just learn and you're looking for a job for 10 months, go pick up a controller and go hop in this $1 million tournament
You
and
could
win
never.
it.
You
And
couldn't.
win it.
You couldn't. You couldn't.
Perhaps.
You wouldn't even. You couldn't. You couldn't.
You
You
wouldn't
couldn't.
qualify.
You couldn't.
What do you mean I wouldn't
You can't even
qualify?
find your OBS stream key. Stop playing.
I need to work for it,
I know.
but
So like,
What-
Not in 10 months you'd be able to do
what
that.
he does. You're just dismissing.
I'm
Like,
not
oh,
dismissing. I'm saying
it's
that's
not a
easy.
skill. It's not a talent.
I
Like,
said it's a skill.
it's
I didn't
easy.
say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that
But
you
how
can
do you
hone and
how do you
can
know
master.
how do you know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you don't.
Played Mario
Gaming is
Kart.
definitely a
I
talent.
played other games.
Not a professional level though.
No, not a professional level because that's not what I'm trying to pursue.
I know, so but you don't understand what it takes to be on that sort of level. So how can you try to dismiss it and say it's yours is harder?
What
How
is-
do you know? But
what
how
does
do
it
you
take
know?
to be on that
Because
level?
I've worked at 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So
What does it take to be on that level?
Just gift, and you got to play all
Just
the time.
gift?
Tens of thousands of hours of work
Uh-huh.
and editing and filming and constantly
I'm just
having
talking
to
about pure
innovate and
skill. As far as like the
reinvent
videos and stuff like that, just off pure skill.
Why is this a debate? I mean, I'm pretty sure like if you ask any kid nowadays what they want to do, I'm pretty sure this is a crazy growing majority. So I feel like people are like not concerned about it, but like people are concerned about it. But it's also just a growing trend, bro. It's just like it deserves to be a debate because now people's jobs are getting taken over. This is kind of a job that is not replaceable by AI for now. Obviously, it could be in the future because people are making videos with AI now. But it's like a lot of people want to do streaming. Everybody streams, bro. Like, look at me. So I feel like it's worth the
I
debate.
had to put tens of thousands of hours
Could you get a
into my
refresh second
studies.
zone tarping? Could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you get a refresh on the best players? You
I
couldn't.
can also put. I can circle back and give
Do
you
you know how to
different
short
terms
launch pad?
from
When you're
my
trying to get to third
industries.
zone, third moving. Do you know
I
how to
don't know
short?
No,
launch
I
it?
don't. But
Exactly,
if I want,
you couldn't, but Excel sheet, you can do Excel sheet.
no, but exactly. I
They're
can
just
show-
talking. They're just talking game.
These
terms.
refreshes
As a
don't come to
babysitter,
you.
I can talk to you about the different things I do and ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four
Put our brains-
took 3 days, you don't think we can master an Excel sheet?
Oh,
But let me give you. If I give you 3 days about a video game, do you think you could be that talented as me?
if I wanted to, I would.
So let's pay for her, whatever it is.
Okay,
Give you 3
please.
days, but if you lose, you got to give us it back in double.
No, that's
Oh,
not how
what
a job works.
happened?
You pay me,
What
I'll get the job
happened?
done.
I would say, in a sense, yes, because you have to put in the work and you got to be on 24/7.
It's difficult to answer that question for us, I think, because we didn't come up in this time frame in this era.
So I said,
And technology is totally different now, because we were just talking about playing tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with chalk. I appreciate and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are. But it's not, what we did was, we just feel like what we did was harder. And that's what I think.
So my mind was changed in the sense that now I'm even more convinced that normal jobs are harder.
Good one, dude. That was a good video, bro. Really good video by FaZe. Yeah, definitely. People underestimate how much, like, generally, like, they see the labor side of it, where it's like you're sitting down, right, and you're good, and you're just talking. Anybody could do that, obviously, but there's a deeper level where it's like you got to be entertaining, vice versa, like good at a game, something like that. Like they're not taking into account how deep these layers go when becoming a streamer. Same way that for streamers might not think that 9 to 5 has like certain deep layers, but I feel like to like Swag's point, like they could swap and they'd find their way for it to be satisfactory. It's just way harder for them to swap into a streamer shoes and be satisfactory, because it's like it's honestly like it's a talent thing.